Some new good rhetoric for everybody. It's not do not comply, do not rely. So whatever they do, the key is to not rely on them. To do not comply means you want their services, which they charge for, which they have a right to charge for. If you want to be in the monetary system, they will tax you. If you want to cross the river Styx, you must pay the ferryman. This is ancient and it's never going away. So the key is, if you want to truly not pay taxes, do not fight the system about it. Do not challenge them. Do not be arrogant. Do not do that stuff. It's about not relying on them. It's about putting your resources back into your community and your independence. And that's and so the more the immoral the state is, the higher the taxes get because of corruption. That's why California just proposed an 18% state sales tax. And it's like, oh, how dare they? Blah, blah. It's like, of course that's going to happen. The whole place is based on sin. The more sin, the more you, okay, forget about sin. Dependency, demonic possession, vampiric possession. Where if you need their services, if you are so feminized, and the men become feminized because they want to have sex with the women. It's not the women's fault that we have tyrannical feminine, guys. It's because the men want the approval of the women, which is crazy. And so they go along with the nonsense of like every child, because it's illogical and they'll never understand the logic. They'll never face the hard reality. Veganism is the definition of tyrannical feminine. Not if you choose to only eat vegetables and fruit. That's your choice. Great. I know a lot of really healthy vegans. Granted, they're all very thin and small. I don't think it's a very northern gigantic diet, but I get it. But it's when you take virtue from it and say you're inflicting no pain. Every time you plow a field, you're killing every snake, every worm, every rabbit, every entire ecosystems. The forest that you have to destroy to get your soybeans is, the owls, the deer, everything goes, everything dies. And then you get this bean and you're trying to pretend like there wasn't tremendous suffering that went into that bean. And that you can play make-believe and pretend that, oh, it's a soy burger, so no one died. It was a genocide to get you those soybeans. And that's not bad. It just is. If you pretend that it isn't, just admitting what is true is your best defense. And so the vegan that derives virtue from it, easily you could argue that there's way less death harvesting cattle. One cow can feed a family for well over a year, and it's one death, and all it does is eat grass, and it doesn't kill the grass. One life. Versus your soy plantations, it's millions of deaths all the time. It's like the entire ecosystem has to go all the time. Okay, so let's talk about farming. So I was describing the governmental farming of you, which is okay, and it's always going to be there, and you just have to understand it. How to protect yourself from it. How to challenge certain things and not challenge other things. It's all good. But now let's talk about the spiritual farming. So putting programming in you, like loops and feelings and emotions and sin, where there are entities that are clear as day. I don't see them because I'm not schizophrenic and I don't do a lot of hallucinogens or anything, but they're there. And you can see it almost like sonar. You can see the areas where they have to be there. And the way people behave and how they are over long periods of time, hundreds of years, these plans that no human being can design or be in control of are harvesting mechanisms. It's like when we die, they don't die, these entities. And they harvest our free will. They harvest us based on our compliance to it, our programming, our sin. And then they howl us out and they suck from it. They're there. In fact, they're there. I'm not saying that schizophrenics are wrong. I'm not saying that some of these people that have done these hallucinogenic trips are wrong. I don't want to see it, and I'm glad I have my governors on, my blinders on. There's no need for me to see it. The moral structure I have in my life, and I always try to, do not comply. Blue Bunny Bear, I just gave you a better phrase. I'm going to show it again because Blue Bunny Bear is already not using my amazing phrase. Do not rely. Do not comply implies that you are a stubborn child. I get it though. There's value in do not comply, but I see the psyop behind it. Whenever Ben Shapiro is promoting something, it's bad. Always. Because he's a communist. He's a globalist communist freak. So whatever. Don't apologize, Blue Bunny Bear. I'm just trying to be funny. But do not rely. We aren't meant to see it. Well, some people, this is my argument for people that do go on the plant-based medical journey. I've never been in a place where I felt like the programming and the ego and the lies were a threat to my life, or I couldn't get out of a funk. So I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it's like to be programmed as an elite soldier and kill people in war and then find out the war was for no reason. I don't know how crazy that. I have no concept of that. I don't know what it's like to recover from heroin. Kind of like Tom Barnett. I don't know what it's like to have vaccine damage so bad that you can't get out of bed for a year. And so you're so desperate that you're literally shoving other people's snot in your nose to see if you can get sick. Those type of people, if they want to go on a plant trip to try and reprogram their loops, that's their choice. And if it works, God bless those people. I'm against it personally, and I'm against it for myself, and I don't recommend people do it that I don't know really well. You know, it's like that whole try DMT, bro, do shrooms, bro, you know, go on a trip. The whole world would heal if we all did DMT. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. There's a lot of people, when they see that shit, it causes a lot of damage. There's some people where they're like, if I don't figure this out and break some of these loops, I'm going to fucking die. And those people are like, I'm going to go on a quest. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to better my life. And those people, God bless them, but that's a small percentage. That's why I don't want to see it in stores. And the people that seek it out and really are like, listen, man, I don't have many other options. Like, I can't get out of this shit. If this tree or this bush or this vine can help me see out of this, I'm going to try it. I'm not like that at all. And I'm fortunate to not be in that place. I've been in the wilderness. I've been scared. I've been battling demons. But I've never been to a place where I want to enter that realm visually. Seeing your dead grandmother crawling up your leg with a knife in her teeth isn't good for everyone. Hilarious. The irony is, when I did do mushrooms in high school, I had like a wonderful artistic experience. The irony is, someone like me who doesn't want to do any of that shit would probably be like, I'm flying. Like, it wouldn't even be scary. It would be like I was painting in the sky with a tulip and I like could feel the earth breathing and shit. I could literally feel the earth breathing like it was a living entity. And I'm like, whoa. And yeah, it was. But again, I don't want to be there again. I actually had good trips too, huh? Yeah. Yeah, no, I was. But again, it's so overpowering and it's so like, I would call it, especially like someone like me with all my responsibilities, it's very irresponsible. Because it's like you can't be relied on for at least, 20 hours? It's like, oh, like right there, when my wife needed me to open the gate, I'd be like, what's a gate? Just have them pass through it. And they'd be like, okay. Oh yeah, I did acid once and it was terrible. My friend's voice, because I was at a party, I did a tab of acid in high school. And me and my friend, Pat, who I'm still friends with, when we were promising something, we said nifty. Like we'd be like, nifty, I just got a new bike. Don't ask me why. We had my friend Pat had an issue with lying. So we had to get a code word of nifty. So he'd be like, bro, nifty, I just saw a raccoon with a gun, just whatever. And so I take this tab of acid, and then my dad makes me go home immediately after. And so I'm alone in my room for about 18 hours with his fucking voice in my head going, nifty, 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 nifty. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it was just over and over again, nifty, 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 nifty. And I'm like, okay, never doing that again. I thought I was insane for life. I thought I was never going to get out of it. Horrible, horrible experience. The come down from acid made me feel filthy. I don't remember anything else really. It was so long ago. I was probably 16 years old. And that was it. It was just my friend's voice just going, nifty, nifty. And then he was like, nifty, nifty. And then he started yelling nifty. And I'm like, dude, I'm closing this door.